Welcome everyone to Sports Opinions with Regular Guys. I'm Frank and this is Mike. And today's episode is going to be basically with NBA news and storylines. Especially we're deep into the conference finals. One team's on the verge of getting swept right out the playoffs. Well, it's like it's a hard-fought battle in the East. And a few other items we may get into later on too. But let's all start off with the NBA playoffs here. We're in full swing here, and it's almost about winding down. The NBA playoffs starting about another week or so, week and a half or so. And we got let's start with the in the West. We have the Warriors and the Mavericks, and I mean, I did expect a 3-0 lead by Dallas. By Golden State. I expected Dallas to give them a little bit more of a fight than what they have been getting. But I do believe Dallas, though, has been playing well. They just they end up giving Golden State that big quarter, and that's what's killing them. And otherwise, I believe Dallas is outplaying them. Not outplaying them, but is playing them, keeping it tough for them. But I think in the end, Golden State has this in the bag, and they're going back to the NBA Finals. Steph Curry, so you don't like him, but he's contributing. He's doing what he needs to do. And Draymond Green does make a difference. His presence there makes a difference. He gets a lot of rebounds. And he takes the ball and runs the floor down. I guess I must have watched so many Warriors games. I didn't know he was doing all that. I thought he would do it every now and then, but this guy's taking the ball down damn as much as Steph Curry takes the ball down. And they have a pretty good team together. And they're letting Doncic, Luka get whatever he wants. Even though they are playing some D on him, he's going to get what he wants. Go ahead, get what you want. But, who's not contributing for Dallas is Bullock. Did you see that awful game the other night?
0 for 10.
Yes. He couldn't contribute nothing.
0 for 10. 0 for 7 from the three-point line.
Bronson is the only one, him and Luka are the only ones that are really contributing. Yep. Well, Dinwiddie, too. I'd say Dinwiddie, he had a pretty good game the other night when, he scored 20-something points, I think.
Yeah, 26 points.
And 26, he had a pretty good game. Yeah. So those three are contributing.
Yeah.
But, it's just not enough. Not when you have the roster of Golden State and you have, say what you want about, you keep calling him the shell. He ain't no shell. Klay Thompson is hitting his shots, some shots he needs. Steph Curry's hitting from anywhere, everywhere. You got your boy Poole contributing, to the team, Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is the one who's actually stepping it up.
Especially that dunk on Doncic.
Yes.
That just basically ended the series.
He is now, he's picking it up right where he needs to. So they're really doing very good. Let's talk about Dallas. Well, actually, did you have your opinion on it so far?
I mean, I'm super disappointed to watch the Mavericks fight. Even the last series, they were down 0-2, and they fought back and ended up winning it. They outlasted the Suns, which was the number one team in the league, record-wise. So, right now, to see them struggling like this with the Warriors to the point where they're down 3-0, it's over. There's been no team in NBA history that's come back from a 3-0 deficit. And what I've seen the past few nights with the Dallas Mavericks, that's definitely not going to happen. Frank was naming, people that haven't showed up. I'm going to tell you who's disappointing on that team right now. He showed up last series was Maxi Kleber. Maxi Kleber was putting up 20 points almost, all in threes. And he went 0 for 5 last game. The game before that, he shot. He had another bad game.
He put up a goose egg.
Yeah. Bertans, 2 points. I mean, come on.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Who are you skipping on here? Finney Smith?
Yeah, Finney Smith is another disappointment. He only shot 7 field goals that game.
But is it their fault, or is it just the defense that Golden State's playing on them? Golden State is a very good defensive team.
They lost by 9 points. All I'm saying, Frank, is if someone on that team, let's say, I don't know, Kleber would have made 2 or 3 threes, or Bertans would have done what he was supposed to do while he was on the court, or Finney-Smith would have done what he spent 42 minutes on the floor and only produced 9 points and 4 rebounds. I mean, that right there is a discrepancy in why the Warriors are doing what they're doing. The Warriors have a full load. Thompson is doing his thing, not exactly what he used to do, but he's still doing his thing. Steph Curry's still coming out with 31 points. You know, Draymond doing, you don't see it on paper, but when you see him on the court and what he does, the disruptions he does on the court, he does his thing. So I'm not complaining about his 10 points.
I'm very surprised he hasn't got thrown out of many games because the refs do let him get away.
The refs let the Warriors get away with a lot.
I'm talking about, well, they let Draymond Green get away with a lot. They leave a lot of leeway because I've seen so many players do so much less and get teed up and thrown out quickly. This guy, he just, I don't know how he gets away with it. I guess the league probably told him, give him a little leeway. That has to be coming from the league because they want.
But that's not fair because you watch other players without.
I know you'll get an argument from me.
And they the minute they get out a little bit out of pocket, you're out because you just defied me. But
they don't want to throwing players out in the playoffs.
Draymond yells at the top of his lungs in their face, and they're just like, "Walk away, Draymond. Walk away." And it's ridiculous. I don't like that either. But
he gets away with it somehow. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't get thrown out last game. Did you see he was always getting on the referees?
Yep.
And then he's just every game he yells, he screams right in their face. They let it go, but. Then maybe it's the relationship he has with those refs. I don't know. But I guess I don't want to throw him out in the playoffs. It's the playoffs, you know?
It doesn't matter. Whether you're abusing the refs or not in the playoffs or not, it should not matter. And it should not matter because of your name. If you're going to do it to one player, it should be uniform around the league. The same way I feel about all the fouls that are called, you know, for Steph Curry or for Klay Thompson or even Draymond. They get a lot of easy calls because of their names, while you have other players in the league that are getting hammered and not getting those calls. So I feel like a lot of this goes Golden State's way because the refs and the league wants to see Golden State win another championship.
Well, I don't know if they want to see the Golden State Warriors.
They do.
They just want to get the best matchup in there. I do think this series is over with. 0-3. I didn't.
It's over tonight.
I'm not going to say that. I think Dallas might get one out in Dallas in front of their crowd, and then just give it up in the next game in Golden State. You know, I'm not going to say that. I think Dallas is going to win tonight's game. I'll say Dallas might win tonight's game. I got this going 5 games, and the Warriors, they need more games under their belt because they need to play more. You know, I mean, because look at it, the way it looks like. Looks like this Boston Miami series might go 7. This may go 7 games possibly. So, Golden State will be off. If they win tonight, they're going to be off at least a week, maybe a week and a half.
2 weeks.
Yeah, before they play another game. And that's a long layoff. Mm-hmm. And you'll have between Dallas and Boston might be a little bit tight, but they're still fresh in the zone playing. You know, yes, granted, the Golden State will be rested, but they'll be rusty. And they need everyone together to play well. You know, so I think they might stretch it out a game. Could be 2, but I'd say more like 5 games. I think Golden State's is gonna lose.
Bring out the broom.
I'm not
Someone's getting swept tonight. I can't wait to see what TNT does with the bus to Cancun when they do them tonight, because I love that. So
they don't do gone fishing.
They do gone fishing still, but then they also have the bus. And I knew I sent you a couple of those links, especially the one with Ben Simmons playing hooky.
Yeah,
that was hilarious. But yeah, I'm waiting for that because it's definitely happening tonight. I don't see Golden State taking their foot off the accelerator at all. They see Prey right now. They see someone that's vulnerable, and they're gonna step right on them and put them out. You can already see Luka that usually has that forever smile on his face when he's playing. He's already trying to fight Steph Curry. He's already trying to fight Draymond for all the celebrating that they do on the court. You know, it's over for them. They're already in his head. The other players already know being down 3-0 means it's curtains for you. Mm-hmm. They're not going to show up tonight. Tonight is just going to be, you know what? It's done. We made it way further than expected.
I don't know about that. Jason Kidd, I think Jason Kidd will have him playing.
Yeah, but Jason Kidd's not on the court. Those guys
so
know
I think,
it's over.
I think they have pride in them. I think they're gonna, because you got to think about it. I think that Dallas and Memphis are gonna be the front runners in the upcoming seasons because they're gonna be the top of the league come probably next year, the year after. Golden State's gonna win it all this year. I have no doubt. But I think Golden State is getting a little bit long in the tooth. I will give you that. And it could be after the season. It could be at time to,
Not the way they're looking. They look like
they look good, but there's times where they're struggling. Where they struggle sometimes. And I think it's enough to get them through the season. They're going to win it this year. I already called it out. But I think after this year, they consider thinking about making some major changes. They're going to stay contenders. Which they'll stay contenders, but will they be championship contenders?
Man, as long as they have Steph Curry on that team, they're going to be contenders. This guy can shoot from anywhere.
Yeah, but Steph Curry's getting older.
I can't tell on the court.
34? He's 34?
He's still blowing by people.
No, he is. I'm saying this season he's all in. What I'm saying is next year he's just going to get a year older. But that's for another discussion later down the road.
He has another.
As far as this season goes, I don't got them winning this game coming up, but I got them winning the series. So I got them extending it a little bit so they can keep fresh with their players because they haven't played a lot together. They need games under the belt. Klay Thompson still doesn't have everything under him. This guy hasn't played in 3 years, so he's still getting his legs under him to play. So it's gonna take time for that. So every game does matter. And then you have Andrew Wiggins, who's playing great. He's playing great.
Yeah, he is.
He's playing great this series. They're going to need that in the next series, no matter who they play. So I think Dallas is going to have some pride, and they're going to win today's game. I think they will. In Dallas, in front of their home crowd, last game of the year at their home crowd, they're going to do what they can to win. They're going to be a desperate team. They're going to come out with the victory tonight, and then they're going to go back to Golden State, and then it's over. That's on Thursday.
Why take that trip to Golden State?
They're going back to Golden State regardless.
I might as well go on ahead and
they're going to wait a minute.
End it tonight.
They're going to Golden State regardless, whether they win or lose.
What are you talking about? They're down 3-0.
We're about Golden State or
so
Dallas?
Tonight, Golden State puts up away. It is over.
Oh, Dallas.
So why take a trip back to Golden State?
Because they always.
It's over for you.
That's like saying they're giving up.
They are giving up.
No, they're not giving up.
They are giving up.
They have a chance. It's not over yet. It's not over till it's over. You got to beat them 4 straight. So even though no team has done it, who knows? Luka can have that magic eye where they come pull off 4 straight against Golden State.
We've both seen the talent on both the teams. We've seen how deep both the teams are, and man, Golden State is way deeper than the Mavericks. I'm sorry. Okay. As soon as Luka comes off that court, they are in serious trouble. Maybe Brunson might step in and do a little bit of scoring. Other than that, they are lost as soon as Luka Doncic goes and takes a seat. And unfortunately, as much as I do like Luka, he's not the greatest. He's not in the greatest shape. I think this summer, he should work on his body as far as like getting some of the percentage of body fat off. Come back a little bit more solid. Come back a little bit with a little bit more stamina, and you'll really be playoff ready. I know you're putting up 40 points, and it's great. I mean, for a guy
he's playing better than the MVP. Right?
Yeah, he's putting up 40 points a night. I mean, that's great, but at the same time, you get a little worn out. He gets a little worn out. He has to sit down, and as soon as he sits down, boom, 10 points get put on the Mavericks. Now he has to come back out and shoot these, ridiculous threes that go in, but too much work for him, man. Unfortunately, it's over for you tonight. I'll be seeing you on the Cancun bus, and much better luck next year.
Well, he has 1 more game left. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, let's take a look at. Let's
go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Miami Heat, Boston Celtics. Last night, Boston tied the series, and tied the series 2-2 with Game 5 going to be in Miami tomorrow. And this wasn't even close, really, from the guard.
Nope.
I mean, with the start of the first quarter, I think the first 10 minutes of the game, it was pretty much over by then. Miami had not scored I think they scored their first field goal with like 4 minutes left in the game.
I mean, it was
Or second field goal, like 4 minutes left in the game.
That was horrible.
They hadn't scored no point. They had 1 point. 1 point.
At the 7-minute mark.
Yeah. And then it was even worse. I think they ended up getting one basket. And I think the second field goal
14-1
was 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I started watching this and I was like, this is over.
I'm like, is Tyler Hero making that much of a difference? It was embarrassing. They didn't have it yesterday.
You had Victor Oladipo with 18 points last night coming off the bench, where the Miami starters, all of them, put together, didn't even put up 18 points. Now that to me was sad. Jimmy Butler last night was horrible. 6 points.
Yeah, he didn't have a very good
3
game.
for 14
He
shooting.
might have, he probably wasn't ready to play.
PJ Tucker, 0 points. Maxi Strauss, 0 points.
Tyler Hero didn't play.
Those 0 points, they hurt, man. Kyle Lowry, 21 minutes, 3 points.
Yeah,
Bam had that great game the game before. What he put up last night, he only shot 5 field goals, 9 points. Not good enough. Gabe Vincent, 6 points, not good enough. I still have Miami beating the Celtics. I still have this happening. Tyler Hero makes a big difference. I know you just mentioned him right now.
Yeah.
That's 22
Jimmy
points.
has a bad game, 6 points. He's not going to put up 6 points.
No, he's not.
He's going to put up like 36 points next game. Miami just had one of those, just a bad game, and Tyler Hero not playing did hurt. It was more of an effect from game 3, because in game 3 when they built that big lead up, and then Jimmy Butler didn't play the second half of the game, but they were already up by 20-something points. They were blowing them out. And I think from that point on, and it carried over into yesterday's game. And I think that was a carryover. Now they got to get out that slump because they're going back home. I think they'll be rejuvenated. They'll be ready to play. And I got Miami beating Boston. It's going to go most likely 7 games, with Miami going to win 7 is where I think it's going to go. And I haven't given up on Miami either. A lot of people have thrown Miami under the bus. Mm-hmm. I still think they're going to beat Boston. What's bad about it though? The bad about this loss is Miami was playing Boston without Marcus Smart, the defensive player of the year, and so they did this they beat them this badly without Marcus Smart.
Yep.
And so, Tyler Hero, we don't even know when he's coming back, if he's going to come back.
I think they said there was supposed to be some breaking news today about him. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm going to keep my eye on it. But I don't think he's going to be coming back. He got hamstring issues. It's really hard to run hard. Like the way he runs, full court, stops and pops. It's just not going to happen with a bad hamstring. So, and the more he keeps messing with it, the worse it's going to get. So I don't think we're going to be seeing Hero, but I'll tell you what, other people need to show up. Because those 20, 21 points that he puts up, what did the Heat lose by last night? 20 points.
Yeah. That's Jimmy Butler, though.
That's Jimmy
Tyler
Butler.
Hero will give you about 15.
Imagine if Hero was there and Jimmy Butler had a regular game.
They win.
They win that game.
Well, Marcus Smart was playing, it would have scored some because Marcus Smart puts up 2 points too. So
true.
We don't know. Neither team was playing healthy, so maybe game 6 game 5 would make more sense to see what happens with that. Boston, on the other hand, did great. You had
Jason Tatum leading the way.
Jason Tatum, of course, 31 points. And how did Brown do? 12 points? He
5 for 20.
He had a very good game.
No, that's a horrible. You can shoot like that.
Neither did Horford. White had 13 points, but it was Tatum. It was a Tatum game. Pritchard, that guy. Amazing how this guy even gets shots off.
Hey, a lot of guys are getting a name for themselves. In
But
these playoffs
what Boston
right now.
does is Boston is a very good defensive team. So, both these teams are really good defensive teams when you think about it.
I thought Miami had the better defense in the league.
Boston's defense is very good. It's deceiving. They were a very good defensive team when they got it together in the second half of the season. And their defense picked up their defense and has carried them into the playoffs. They did it with Milwaukee. They're doing it with Miami. And so Boston's not going to go away easily. They're there to show they're there. They're the number 2 team in the league for a reason in the East, and they're showing Miami why. And so it's going to be a hard-fought series. I said what did I predict the series to go? 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
They can still go 6 games, but the way it's looking to me, I got this going to a complete 7 games. Jimmy's not going to have another game like he did last night. Hopefully they can get Hero back. Hopefully it's not so bad. Maybe he just needs a rest, and he can come back and play. But we'll see. And Abayo's gonna have another big game. He's gonna have to have a big game.
He does.
And you know who else needs to be doing something? I think Westham had a good game, decent game. Was it Robinson? What did he do? When I was watching,
You talking about Duncan Robinson?
Yeah, Duncan Robinson. He had 14 points. That's not bad. He needed those 4. Unfortunately, a lot of those 14 points was in garbage time, though.
But he still scored.
But he needs to score that when he's on the floor during the first and second quarter, and the third quarter when it matters. Not in the fourth quarter when you're down by 25 points. Now all of a sudden you're hit because there's no pressure.
Well, that's the guy that's supposed to be showing up when Hero is sitting down. Now, let me tell you something.
He better start picking it up.
I challenged you before to watch a Boston game and tell me how many times you see a Boston jersey hit the ground. It's like every play. It doesn't matter if they're taking a jump shot. It doesn't matter if they're passing the ball. The guy passed the ball and fell down. I mean,
they're trying to get a call.
It's ridiculous. So let's point something out.
The refs catch up on that, though.
No, they don't, because the Celtics have been shooting free throws at an astronomical rate compared to the Heat. Even last night alone, Jason Tatum shot 16 free throws by himself. Okay? The Heat, all together, free throw shots, 14. All together.
And
that's Bam with 5. I'm sorry, with 5 free throws.
Yeah.
That's with Victor Oladipo with 8. And Martin with 1.
That's at home cooking.
That shouldn't be.
Wasn't Miami going to the free throw line more than Boston in the games in Miami?
No, that should not be a thing.
So you'll see tomorrow's game when a lot of the calls will go Miami's way because they're at home. That's typical. That happens.
I have not seen that. I mean, all the games we've been watching, and all I've been seeing is Boston, as soon as they get in the bind, fourth quarter, hit the ground, hit the floor. They all just hit the floor, and I'm tired of it. It's like, how many free throws do you guys need to shoot? Is that what you need to do to stay in the game? The game before that, 9 free throws for Miami. Well, the Celtics alone, Brown had 12, and then everyone else had about 5. It makes a difference, and that's how I feel that Boston is staying in these
Miami
games.
was just playing a shit game, though. Let's be honest. That game was shitty. I'm sorry, Miami. They just played a horror. They had a bad game. That game was bad. No matter how good Boston's defense is, Miami they didn't score their first field goal till what? 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah.
In the first quarter.
So that was obviously,
So that game was over within the first quarter. Didn't even matter what happened in the rest of the game. They just laid an egg, and they did not show up at all. It's like, what did you do? You just got drunk all night in Boston the day after you won and just decided not to play at all? Now you got all these analysts and stuff on ESPN and NBA TV and on the radio and podcasts talking about, it's over for Miami, it's over with. I don't see where they come to that conclusion because they lost the last game. Now, when they win tomorrow's game, what are they going to say then?
Yeah, I mean, the series is tied 2-2.
I know. It's over with. Miami's not going to win another game.
No.
I don't know about that. I mean, hey, if that's the case, that's the case, but I don't see that happening. I think Miami's going to recover tomorrow, and that's it. It's good. The series is probably going to go 7 games. And Miami has that game 7 at home. So I still got Miami winning the series. I do got it in. It could be 6, but maybe 7. Most likely, it's going to go 7 games. That's the only thing I'll be wrong on. Is the game series going 7?
You have been predicting right as far as all the
Yep.
the series and the games have been going.
Oh, there was one thing we forgot to mention. Going back to the Warriors series, Otto Porter Jr. is going to be out for Game 4 with a foot sore in this tonight's game. We heard it the other day game in Dallas, and so he's going to be out. I think that's kind of significant because they do need his scoring out there on the bench. When you have Curry on the bench,
Really?
Thompson is scoring, but you need him out there, and
Really?
you need him to contribute. Yes.
Let me see how many points Otto Porter Jr. scored.
Did he play the whole game, Mike? He left the game.
2 points.
He left the game.
All right, let's go to the game before that. Let's see how many points how valuable Otto Porter Jr. is on this team. Game before that, 11 points.
But you look at what 7 rebounds, 11 points, 4 assists. He brings you that defense as well, too. Come on. You're just being.
He was here in Chicago, and he did nothing for us here.
Because he had nothing here.
And I don't know.
He had nothing here. What do you have in game 2?
It was 10 points.
There you go. So he averages you about 10 points a game. He's going to give you 10.7 boards a game.
Okay.
With that team who you got together who's going to be the main scorers, that's good. So they need that.
True enough.
These are pieces that they need in there. Who's not playing, who I saw in the suit, and why even bother picking him up? Is Andre Iguodala hurt? Why is he in a suit?
Yeah, he's hurt again.
He's hurt, so if he wasn't hurt, would he even be in the game? Would they have him in the game? They just picked him up just for, we feel sorry for you, pick you up.
I don't know.
We just want to pick
I don't
you
know
up.
about the feel sorry for you thing, but
he's not doing anything. He's in a suit. Is he hurt?
he's great on the practice squad. He's great on the practice squad. But as far as like his injury goes, Iguodala right now has a disc injury. So you don't expect to see him back. He's not coming back. He's probably gonna get a ring.
So then this should be it. Then it's time for him to retire. Then.
Yep. Will we be seeing Gary Payton Jr. come back?
Not this year.
Really?
Not this year. No.
I thought we would be seeing him. By the time the finals came around.
The finals are another week and a half?
2 weeks away.
2 weeks. 2 weeks away from the finals.
Yeah.
No, that bad injury was really nasty. I don't see him coming back. I think he's pretty much done for the most part. So, was there some NFL news you wanted to get into? I was watching something today. What's with the deal with what's it with Cleveland? Why haven't they let
I have no idea.
what's his name, Mayfield go yet?
I have no idea. Like, he should definitely be gone already. Because I think they just started their OTAs today. And what? He's not going to show up there for what?
Why would he?
Exactly.
It's voluntary.
So
Now, I would really be mad if I was him. Is it they just can't get rid of him, or they just don't want to? I think they're afraid because they're not sure exactly what's going to happen with Watson. That's why they've not traded him.
Exactly. But if you're him, are you going to play for that team when they put you in? Are you going to give him 100% again?
Well, if he doesn't play, he doesn't get paid.
I'm not committed. Yeah. I'm not committed. I would not be committed after a team would treat me like this.
I agree. I kind of agree, but that's money's leaving on the table if he doesn't play. But what are you going to do? You're not going to start. I mean, he may have to start. He has to prove himself again, maybe.
Yeah.
Also, too, in the NFL, what about Aaron Rodgers? Should Aaron Rodgers show up to voluntary camps? These are new receivers he's getting this year. You think he'd want to get out there and maybe practice with them and get some feel of these receivers? He's gonna come and help him this upcoming season because he has a whole new group of receiving core.
When's the last time we seen Aaron Rodgers at one of these? 5 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
He never comes to these.
Did Devontae Adams miss a lot of games with the Packers the last couple of years?
He missed a few games, yes.
When he missed games, did Aaron Rodgers struggle?
Yes.
So now he's gone for good. So who's his number one receiver? He doesn't have a number one receiver.
All no namers.
What is your opinion on this? I know you love Aaron Rodgers. Why don't you think he should? You don't think he should show up to training camp, voluntary training camp, to get a feel of these rookies and receivers that he has in his team?
So this is what I felt for the past few years. I want to say for the past 10 years, maybe a little bit more with the NFL. When it comes to these OTAs, I feel like the veteran players don't want to participate because it's more wear and tear on their body. That they're already starting practice, they're already starting drills, so they don't like to compete in those. Just like a lot of them say, "Oh, I have a messed up leg for preseason," and then all of a sudden regular season starts and they're ready to play. They don't want to do it because it's extra wear and tear on their body for a long NFL season. So, like I said, I haven't seen Rodgers, even Brady. You didn't even see Brady. Brady always had some sort of an issue. This was hurt or something was hurt, and he wouldn't be in there. But sure enough, he would perform. Just like Rodgers does. Rodgers says he needs about 2 weeks to be with his receivers to be in peak passing form with his receivers as far as timing goes. Should he be in the OTAs right now, especially with a brand new core? Yes. That's my opinion on that. Okay. But I don't think he's going to do it. I'm pretty sure he's going to be out. They're going to be catching passes from their secondary quarterback. At least he's going to have some time to touch that ball, because as soon as Rodgers comes back, he's going to be sitting back watching a master at play.
Well, I think he should be there. You have a whole new group of receivers. You have no feel for them at all. You think the little training camp you're going to get when you come back is just going to teach them right away? No, this is the NFL.
These are professionals, though.
He's a professional. But his receivers don't know how he throws, how to catch his balls. You know, the more training you have, the better you have a better chance of doing it. You think it doesn't matter who's out there, I just throw the ball and you just catch it? Really? You're playing much tougher, maybe tougher defenses now. We'll see. I think the NFC North is wide open, to be honest with you. Now, I'm not saying the Bears are doing anything, but who knows? Even Detroit might do something. This is what really,
Wow.
I just don't see them doing anything.
Wow.
And the clock is ticking on Aaron Rodgers too, by the way.
Well, yeah.
So,
Father Time.
We will see what happens. These NFL players, I don't know. I guess it's voluntary training camp. Maybe they do have too many training camps. Maybe they should just have the regular training camp in July and just go from there.
Yep.
And cut the preseason down. Isn't it cut down to 2 games or 3 games now?
3 games.
Okay, because that regular season, and that's all you need. You don't even really need that, I guess.
But even in the preseason, you barely even see the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
You see him for like.
That's why the training camps.
set.
That's why the training camps are so important, especially when you that's why some of these voluntary. I guess why they have these OTAs. But when you get into training camp, that's why it's really important. You can't miss no time. You get in there because you're not going to be playing the preseason. You're going right to the regular season. I just think it's going to be a problem for Aaron Rodgers this upcoming season because he has a bunch of unproven receivers. He doesn't have these veteran receivers he had in the past. So that's all I'm saying. Well, with that being said, is there anything else? What else you want to get into?
Well, I don't want to start getting into too much into baseball or anything like that yet, because the NBA season is going to be coming to an end, and we will have to, have some other coverage, whether it be MMA, boxing, some baseball.
There's entertainment news too.
Yeah, of course, but like what?
Keep us
I
busy
just want to go back.
Football comes back.
I just want to go back to what you were saying about Watson. So right now he has like 2 women that are coming after him in Cleveland. So what's to say? Some information comes out, everything that he told Cleveland's brass to get on that team. Players lie. They're not going to sit there and admit every single thing, man. You have like 30 something women that are accusing you of some sort of sexual misconduct. There's no way that you are totally clean and ready to put on that helmet and play without any repercussions. What I was saying is I feel that is why they have not gotten rid of Mayfield. But again, like I was saying, who's to say this guy gets in trouble, some like extra stuff comes out, he gets suspended by the NFL for conduct for a year or 2 years. Well, there goes $230 million guaranteed. I wonder if there's any language in that contract saying if anything comes out like that, that he's not going to get paid, because this would be the heist of the century.
There's got to be some clause in there that says
it has to be.
If you do any time, or not time, but if you miss any time because of this matter, then you don't get paid for those amount of games or whatever, or it could be voided out based on the team's discretion. You know what I mean? But that's why they haven't got rid of Mayfield yet, because they're not 100% sure. But how what's going to happen now? When, let's say he doesn't, nothing happens. He's cleared of this all. He's cleared of all this, so they haven't pressed any charges on him either, no criminal charges. So I think it's all civil now. So they'll try to sue him or whatever, and whatever will come out, and then say he's cleared of it all. He's cleared of everything.
Yeah.
Now they're stuck with 2 of these quarterbacks. Now what? You're gonna trade him in mid-season?
You're gonna have to do something. Something's gonna have to happen.
But I think this really messes up Baker Mayfield's coverage here of him, where he wants to go. Like, I don't want to be here. I want to be somewhere where I could contribute. Get rid of me already.
Yep.
And Cleveland, they're business-wise, I guess they want to keep him because their insurance policy. Okay, is that better? Insurance policy.
Well, another thing I was talking about that I was looking at earlier today was the
training camp
for your boy Jimmy G.
Okay.
So they were asking, Shanahan about what they feel about Debo, because Debo wants to go. So he says he expects Debo for mandatory minicamp. We'll see if that happens, because if he decides he doesn't want to play, he's just going to sit out, and that's it. But he also said he expects Garoppolo to be dealt. So that to me,
who expects? Shanahan said that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that to me says that there is going to be some move with Jimmy Garoppolo, and I was going to ask you, because I know you love Jimmy G, where do you think that he could go to, Jimmy Garoppolo, and be productive? Because he's not the kind of guy that can go to any kind of team, any type of high-powered team, and be slinging the ball around, because that's just not Jimmy G anymore.
Who did Denver? Not Denver. Who did Seattle get for Wilson?
Oh man.
What did they trade for him? Maybe they could try to get
They're not
Jimmy
gonna.
G.
Who's gonna try and get him?
Maybe I said Seattle. The Seahawks.
Where's it gonna Seattle at?
I mean, they don't have Wilson no more. Who's their quarterback now? Geno Smith.
There you go. Then they got Drew Lock.
So they go and get a Jimmy Garoppolo. He'll be starter over Geno Smith. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So that would help them. Geno Smith is more of a backup. You saw.
Why would they give him a contract like that to be the starting QB?
Who? Geno Smith?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I guess it must be in rebuilding mode, because when they let go of Russell Wilson, they decided that they want those draft picks and help them in the future. So we'll see what happens. Pete Carroll's a pretty good coach, pretty good eye of talent, so he'll get that team together. But I think Seattle will be one team. Who else? Who else is in need of a quarterback?
I mean, in my opinion, the Jets are in need of a quarterback.
The Jets already have a rookie, don't they?
The Jaguars. I know you got Lawrence out there, but I know they're all gonna blame the coaching. The Trevor Lawrence's coach on it, but a lot of it is also the player and some of the decisions that the player makes. So, I mean, there are a lot of teams out there that could use, a quarterback, a veteran quarterback. So we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, as far as everything else goes for today, I think that's going to be, it as far as like our coverage in for the NFL and NBA today. Tonight will be a wrap for Dallas. I'm gonna be watching that game because I expect them to get blown out tonight. And of course, like you just saw Westbrook here, they want every team that's been interested in Westbrook wants a first round pick also with them. Why would I give up a first round pick?
We don't want that guard because
alongside a future Hall of Fame player that averaged a triple double for the past 2-3 years, except for last year. I mean, why? I don't know. I feel like we crucified him really quick in 1 year that he didn't produce. Because the year before that in Washington, he was putting up triple doubles.
How old is he now?
I think Westbrook is about 33, 34 also.
Yeah, it's time.
But it's not time for Steph Curry is 34.
Steph Curry is producing at a high level.
Westbrook is 33 right now.
Fell short of expectations. I see that right away.
He put up 18.5 points per game last season.
What does he normally put up?
7 rebounds.
What should he have, hold on. What should he have put up with Anthony Davis constantly hurt, LeBron James hurt? He should have been one of those putting up 30 points a game, especially when AD was hurt all the time. If he was averaging 30 points a game and 10 rebounds a game, and 10 assists a game, a triple double a game, wasn't he doing that before?
I feel like what you just asked right now, it goes deeper, right? So think about the magic word that you just said.
Where are those numbers?
When those guys were injured, which they were a lot. Guess who started all his games?
Who?
When AD was out, when
Who?
LeBron was out. Guess who was out there on the court? Russell Westbrook.
Well, yes, he's a starter. He's supposed to be on the court.
But it's okay for.
What was Carmelo Anthony doing?
He's not a starter.
What was?
And he's well past his prime.
Carmelo Anthony.
He's well past his prime.
He's just as old as LeBron James. He should be able to put up 30 points a game.
He's not LeBron though. He's well past his prime.
What about Dwight Howard?
Was Dwight Howard ever a scorer like that?
Yeah, was he a 20-something plus scorer?
That was like 10 years ago. After he hurt his back, it was it for him. But I don't know. I think that's a pretty tall order to want a first round pick.
I don't think it's that much to ask for because of what you're getting. What are you getting?
The sad thing is,
he's
going to go on another team next year and he's going to kill it, and everyone's going to be like, "See, they should have kept Russell Westbrook because he's going to go somewhere else. And he's going to shine. He's going to show out." He had issues with Frank Vogel. You know that Vogel was sitting him down in the fourth quarter
because he wasn't doing anything in the fourth quarter. Turn the ball over. That guy's a turnover machine, right?
He was last season. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
What was I saw there? Yeah, what do you think Bullock is gonna have to do to keep the Dallas
step up? Everyone in Dallas is gonna step up.
0 points won't do it.
They all have to step up. You can't. It's not the Luka show. It's not just the Dallas Lukas. It is. This is a team, and I feel like when you look at that scoreboard or that scorecard, and you see there are multiple players with 0 points, and they spent over 28 minutes on the court. What were you doing out there aside from just running up and down the court and being a body out there? I think that these guys.
Well, that guy doesn't shoot threes. That's all I ever see him doing is shooting threes.
I think that these guys mentally, they're beat by the Warriors. They see just how fluid the Warriors are, how good the Warriors are. They know they cannot compete. Tonight is a go home game, and that's it. It's over for them.
I think he might show up tonight.
Nothing like that's happening tonight. But yeah, so that about wraps it up for our show.
All right, we'll be back hopefully by the weekend. By then, more than likely, we'll be wrapping up the Western Conference.
Yes.
Possibly we might even have our NBA Finals set up by this weekend. Know who's going to be playing who. We'll definitely have some predictions about that. Any NFL news we'll get into. And any other news of importance we'll get into.
Yep.
With that being said, thank you for listening. You can catch us on Google Podcasts, Apple Music, YouTube as you're watching us on video as well, and all your likable podcasts, wherever you podcast from.
Right.
With that being said, you guys have a good day. Thank you for listening. And this is Sports Opinions with Regular Guys. Again, I'm Frank. This is Mike.
Yep. See you guys.
See you.